Friends, it's all too often said that there are no miracles performed these days, but I'd like to challenge this idea with my story. I call it Lost and Found. My wife and I were on our way to one of the Caribbean islands, and we stopped off at the airport in Miami, Florida, and we had our luggage with us. My wife had her bag. I just bought her a nice Mac laptop and a nice leather bag to go with it. And as you know, when women travel, they have everything they need in one location: phone, Bible, wallet, laptop, bag. I've often said if my wife loses her bag, her world falls apart. Well, that very thought was challenged as we exited the airport, getting ready to meet my brother-in-law who was going to come to pick us up. We had about 4 hours before our flight left, and he said, "Come by my home and have a meal, and I'll bring you back to the airport in time." Well, I was dragging my luggage, as we often are, overladen with a lot of luggage, going to do the Lord's work. And I saw my wife jumping up and down, and I thought, she's really excited to see her brother. But that was not the case. And I went to her, and she said, with a frightening look on her face, "Tell me you have my bag." And I said, "Which bag?" She says, "My bag, my wallet, my laptop, everything. Tell me you have it." And I grabbed her shoulders and I said, "Honey, I don't have it, but I'll find it." And that was a statement of faith, because my question is, in Miami, outside of the airport, in this large metropolitan airport, where do I find it? And I believe at that very moment when I said, "But I'll find it," I believe that the Lord stepped into that moment to do for us what I knew only He could do. So I frantically ran across the first roadway, the second roadway, the third roadway, and ran to the airport. By this time, I was perspiring, wondering, wow, where am I going to find my wife's laptop in the Miami airport? Well, as I crossed the third road and was getting ready to enter the airport, I saw a very well-built police officer with his radio to his ear, and he was obviously talking to someone maybe on the other side of that, maybe another police officer, maybe his headquarters. And I noticed he was standing kind of like an A-frame, and right below him was my wife's bag with her laptop and everything that I knew was hers. And by this time, I was visibly shaken, perspiring. It was hot in Miami. And I walked up to the police officer, and he looked at me with, "Are you okay?" And through this quivering voice, I said, that's my wife's laptop." I guess I looked so honest and so frantic and so honest. In some way, he probably thought, who would go through all this trouble to just take something that doesn't belong to him? And I believe the Lord reached out and touched his heart. He didn't ask for any ID or anything, and he lifted up my wife's bag and he handed it to me. And the miracle was God preserved that pocketbook in an airport where I would say hundreds of thousands of people pass every day. And in this story, God showed me this very important point. All things work together for good to those who love God and to those who are the called according to His purpose. Trust your life to the Lord, and whatever you have is in a covenant, secure relationship with God. Miracles still do happen. This is John Law McKay.